And I'm still working on my Coke addiction, my Diet Coke addiction, that is.
That's why poor people stay poor and rich people stay rich. The movie The Matrix is not science fiction. It's a documentary. Every human, and it's a fact, a child below 7 has a lower vibration than consciousness. It's called theta. Theta is imagination. Oh, that's how kids play a tea party with mud pies, but to them it's a real thing. A kid rides a broom, it's a horse. That's theta, imagination. Theta is also hypnosis. And the idea is this: before you can become conscious, if you don't have any programs, what are you going to be conscious of? So nature makes the first 7 years. What kind of programs are required to live on this planet? I say, how do you get them? Theta is hypnosis. You just watch.
I think news media and media in general are very negative in terms of any revolutionary movement or any movement that, forces the change of the status quo. Now, media has always been an enemy of black people, because what media has done is media has always singled out people who had vanguard positions or vanguard attitudes and tried to make these people an enemy of the masses of people. In our case, make individuals enemies of black people. Malcolm X would be a good example. More Negroes feared Malcolm X than white people, because news media told black people that Malcolm was bad. Muhammad Ali, the reason that Muhammad Ali could be given the maximum sentence and the maximum fine and the black community did not revolt was because Muhammad Ali had been made an enemy of black people. Adam Clayton Powell could be legally lynched, politically lynched, and black people did not revolt was because the man had told black people that Adam...
But being friendly and being a friend, I think, are two different things. I think there are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. Mm-hmm. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. Mm-hmm. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though, that...
And I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, mm-hmm. economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, mm-hmm. who usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf. Their appetite is the same. Their motives are the same. It's only their mannerisms and methods that differ.
Έλα, αγάπη μου, κάτσε από εδώ. Οικονόμου, κι εσείς. Ο γιατρός είπε όρισες.
Νούλα, τι βλέπω. Ομόρφες μετά την επέμβαση, Συμβαίνει κάτι, γιατρέ? Όχι καθόλου. Να σας γνωρίσω τον Τζαφάρ. Είναι ο δότης μυαλού των οστών για την Άννα.
I'm afraid there is no money available for nothing. What's that thing on your head? The thing on your head made out of precious diamonds. I couldn't possibly do this job without my shiny, fucking expensive hat.
Don't harass people. Hey, get out of here now.
You know what?
Do not. I'm
care.
calling the cops.
You know what?
You leave these women alone. Get out.
You know
Go.
You come from a different generation.
No, I do not. I have respect, and it does not matter. You don't harass people like this.
You will lose your temper.
All right.
You know what? You will lose this.
No.
This is going to be the new economic challenge for America. People.
You will lose your temper.
All right.
Baby boomers are retiring. I did my part, but we need to have higher birth rates in this country.
You will lose this.
No.
Meaning Baby boomers are retiring, and we have fewer people following them in the workforce. We have something like a 90% increase in the retirement population in America, but only a 19% increase in the working population in America. So what do we have to do? Be smarter, more efficient, more technology? Still going to need more people.
And many white people who mean right and in heart want to do right, but there are so few. If 10,000 rattlesnakes was coming down that aisle now, and I had a door here I could shut, and in that 10,000, 1,000 meant right. 1,000 rattlesnakes didn't want to bite me. I knew they were good. Should I let all these rattlesnakes come down, hoping that 1,000 get together and form a shield? Or should I just close the door and stay safe?
I think that...
You understand? The Viet Cong are not all bad, but America's still dropping bombs. In Hiroshima, the Japan wasn't bad, but she still dropped the bomb. In Korea, they weren't bad, but they still dropped the bomb. So now I'm going to forget the 400 years of lynching and killing and raping and depriving my people of freedom, justice, and equality, the first fired, last hired, the lowest of low, last respected, and I'm going to look at 2 or 3 white people who are trying to do right and don't see the other million trying to kill me? I'm not that big of a fool, and I'm not going to deny it.
I got to go back to America. I got to go get ready for the bomb. Osama bin Laden getting ready to bomb. Osama bin Laden getting ready to bomb. You better watch out. You're not the one.
Holy crap! I thought we were inside your car battery, Rick. This is like a whole planet or something.
Thanks, Morty. I'm pretty proud of this bad boy. Check it out. I put a spatially tessellated void inside a modified temporal field until a planet developed intelligent life. I then introduced that life to the wonders of electricity, which they now generate on a global scale. And you know, some of it goes to power my engine and charge my phone and stuff.
You have a whole planet sitting around making your power for you? That's slavery!
It's society. They work for each other, Morty. They pay each other. They buy houses. They get married and make children that replace them when they get too old to make power.
That just sounds like slavery with extra steps.
Ooh la la. Someone's gonna get laid in college.
Okay, so when you talk about the planet Saturn, it's interesting because like people don't perceive the Matrix being beyond what we realize is, you know, planet Earth. When you go deeper into the rabbit hole, you see that it's an even greater plot at play. Whenever you get into the root of each religion or mainstream culture, you always find the planet Saturn. Like, what is the coincidence that Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun? That number 6 is pivotal because you see that in representing Satan, and the word Satan is phonetically similar to the word Saturn. The 6th day, what we call Earth Day, is weekday. The 6th day also being Saturn Day or Saturday. A cube is also a hexagon because it is a 6-sided figure, and when you open up those 6 sides, you have a cross. Or you can keep it together and continue it to be a cube, which is relative to the Kaaba, right? In Mecca, where the Muslims actually pay homage to.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
They finna fuck us. Understand they already have concentration camps in the United States of motherfucking America that they've been building for 4 years now. And the question is, who in the fuck is you finna put in there?
Order 10995 allows the government to seize and control the communication media. Executive Order 10997 allows the government to take over all electrical power, gas, petroleum, fuels, and minerals. Executive Order 10998 allows the government to seize all means of transportation, including personal cars, trucks, or vehicles of any kind, and total control over highways, seaports, and waterways. Executive Order 10999 allows the government to take over all food resources and farms. Executive Order 11000 allows the government to mobilize civilians into work brigades under government supervision. Executive Order 11001 allows the government to take over all health, education, and welfare functions. 1002 designates the Postmaster General to operate a national registration of all persons. Executive Order.
After the first Negro had beat him till he was exhausted, the State Highway Patrolman ordered the second Negro to take the black jacket. The second Negro began to beat, and I began to work my feet. and the state highway patrolman ordered the first Negro had beat to sit on my feet, to keep me from working my feet. I began to scream, and one white man got up and began to beat me in my head and tell me to hush. All of this is on account of we want to register to become first-class citizens. And if the Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America. Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off of the hook because our lives be threatened daily because
then leave their land? If it's the simple things in life that matter, it perhaps doesn't get any simpler than living off the land.
So we live out here 100% off the grid, self-sustaining.
Tyler Truitt and his girlfriend Soraya have everything they need.
So I've basically made all my own utilities. I got my solar panels, I've got my rainwater collection system and stuff.
Everything, that is, except the support of the city.
They said that our house is a trailer, which they say is not allowed within city limits.
City officials also took issue with Truitt's off-the-grid lifestyle.
And of course they came, they condemned our house, and they told us that if we stayed here we were going to be arrested for trespassing on our own property. And the reason why was they said that it was unsafe living conditions because we don't have city utilities hooked up.
The former military member says he just wants the freedoms he swore he'd protect.
You know, I took an oath that I would support and defend the Constitution and the freedoms that entails, and I feel like those are really
About 2 years ago, I did an experiment to see if there was any truth to what's called Microplasma Laboratorium, I guess, but it's better known as Morgellons. I went and got a microscope, the most powerful microscope commercially available to buy, and I got raw cranberry juice. You have to get raw cranberry juice, not ocean spray or nothing that's, processed, and you gargle it in your mouth for about 2 to 5 minutes. And basically what this does is it pulls the synthetic fibers, synthetic microfibers or the nanotech out of your, I don't know if it pulls it through your skin membrane or if it just pulls it from your saliva glands. So I looked at the cranberry juice by itself to make sure there wasn't nothing in it so I could know what was already in it. You can see like pieces of the cranberry skin or whatever. And so then I went and gargled it for about 2 to 5 minutes. And I spit it out and looked at it under a microscope. And clearly I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but there's something in there. And if you have rubbing alcohol, you can pour it on it and the motherfucking shit starts twitching.
Hey, shut the fuck up, nigga. Shut your bitch ass up before I smack you, nigga. It's Earth.
You're gonna lay in the bed you make. You're not gonna get away with nothing in terms of the energy. You know what I mean? You might beat the camera or the police. They might not catch you for what you're doing, but the energy is always gonna return to you. So when you just living in this cycle of being negative all day and just putting out negativity and that's the only energy you putting out, it's gonna return to you in different form than you put it out in. So I would just say, master your energy. Do your best to master your energy and what you put out, and unless that's what you want, because you entitled to whatever you want to create, whatever experience you want to create for yourself. But if you're tired of that shit, adjust the energy. As best you can. Adjust what you wake up thinking and what you say, and then lastly what you do. And that's not an easy thing to do because it's such a pressure in these areas to just go by the way things are.
Guys, this party is so
Oh my god, guys, we look so popular.
Can you airdrop me that video?
Yeah. Wait, what is your name again? Are you?
I'm Mom's Queef.
Okay.
We chase valueless things because we put value on things that we're told to put value on. And it brings about a lot of misery. And we just keep making a great big effort to become more and more miserable without understanding that that's what we're doing. We think that we're finding happiness when we're going just in the opposite direction. Running here, running there, doing this, doing that. Just got to go. Got to do it. Why? Because somebody said so. The average black male in the Northwestern Hemisphere exists today. They want a lot of things, but they don't want hardly any effort to get them in a constructive manner. And many of the things that they want are not of constructive value, except for showing off. Showing off to whom? Other black people. Do just enough to show off to other black people. And many black people throughout the world have this type of mentality.
Hey, why are you videoing me? Okay, guys, as you know, this is Rosemont Brown, and you know me, I don't do killings. This is all for him, and he's taking me straight to New York City. Watch out for us. Since I said something to my friend.
Hey, Big Slick Willie here. We are rolling, man. Look at this. Look at this. This right here is going to Texas. Texas style, like the hot tamales, full of spice.
I'm going to New York City, Texas. Watch out. Oh no, I'll give you the relics, the gist. My waist is really doing jobs and it's taking me far. I'm going places. Kiss, kiss. Mwah.
It's far from attractive, it's really just sickening. The things hoes doing to get some attention. For all that it's worth, for all that it means. Y'all put them on pedestals, calling them queens. Me, I just laugh at it truly. Preferably, I'm still attracted to natural beauty. I wish I could make the 90s resume. Shortcuts with a smile like a light up the room. Pretty and she natural, that's when we compatible. Still look good, even with a low attitude. That's what I desire, my nigga. Ambition, yeah, she got the fire up in her. Might use makeup to go with it, but she ain't gotta make up her whole image with everything fake. That be throwing me off. Anything other than that, that's a no for me, dog.
It's dope to see people embrace it, you know? Because when I came out, they didn't embrace me very well, but I came out before China and Cardi B. I'm happy that I took the punches and I continued to flourish, so they really don't have to.
This bitch is delusional. So Kanye West licking your bald ass head, Wiz Khalifa having a baby with you and fucking with 21 Savage, that's not what made you relevant? You got relevant off being a stripper, right? And your great personality. You and Black China, y'all ain't come up on famous dick? Both of y'all did. As a matter of fact, Cardi's the only stripper who came up on her own merit. You know what I'm saying? She ain't even need Offset to blow up. She got with that nigga after she blew up. And not for nothing, she was dating a nigga in jail and being loyal to a nigga in jail. So you are not famous off being no fucking stripper. You famous from fucking with famous niggas. Fuck out of here.
The majority of these sisters is acting like they're hoes standing in corners and doorways. The black woman is the greatest thing there is. The black man is the greatest thing there is. Let's start acting like, not even acting, let's start being what we're supposed to be. So that the world can look at us in a different light. And I know all of us ain't gonna go that route. But enough of us can go that route that we make a difference amongst our own people. I'm not worrying about the rest of the world. I'm worrying about us. We got to do what we got to do, because this is about the rise of a nation. This ain't about no individualism. Accept your own and be yourself. Peace.
This is the first thing I want to say to you. You want to do hip-hop? You got to stand like this. With hip-hop is everything's down low. Your hands are always like this. That's what makes a hip-hop. Start out just hitting it, hitting it, hitting it. And hip-hop is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, hit, and Hip-hop is an attitude. It's right here. Boom, bam. Every time. Or And that's what makes it look like hip-hop. This is me. This is how I am. This is a lifestyle. This is it. What we call popping, straight, was like this. But in hip-hop, it's like this. See, there's a difference. Hit, I'll give them a ba. They look at me like I'm crazy, but then they know this right here is me. Keep pretending.
So you knew she was 13, sir, from the start.
No.
I can tell you at this point in time as well, I'm from an organisation known as Dark Justice. There's going to be no hostilities or violence towards yourself. No one's going to touch you, sir. You have nothing to worry about at this point in time. You are going to be questioned by the police about why you're here tonight.
Right.
You are here to meet a 13-year-old girl, sir. You could just please keep your hand out your pockets just for my safety and your safety, sir. Because if you pull anything out of your pockets, then I'm going to have to react.
Right.
And you don't want that, sir, and I don't want that.
No.
Yeah?
Right.
It is late at night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, you knew she was 13, sir.
How long are we going to be here?
We're not going to be here long.
I mean, the unit's
The police are going to be here fairly soon. Police are a minute away, sir.
I'm looking at you with, I don't know, $10 million worth of diamonds and gold and everything, and then I'm looking at your shoes that are just a disaster. Now, you explain to me, what's with these shoes all taped up looking tacky?
You see, well, to some people they might say it's tacky, but there's a message in these shoes. You see, these shoes keep me humble. And if you recall last time that we met, I had these shoes. They wasn't in that bad of a shape, you know. But these shoes are handed down through my family. My father wore them, my brothers wore them, and things like that. So they keep me humble, keep me and let me remember that I have a brothers and sisters back in Chicago, not doing to where I got mother and father that I must take care of. So you see, out in Hollywood, and especially all the money that I'm making now, it's so easy for me to get caught up in all these material stuff and forget where I'm coming from. So wherever I'm whether I'm with a governor or a mayor or a reception or whatever, I look down at my shoes and let me know, hey, I can't get too carried away here. So that keeps me level. As I say, I want to keep my feet on the ground and my head toward heaven.
Do you want food stamps? Well, then get a job. Michigan is the latest state to enforce work requirements for those in need of food assistance. Under the program, able-bodied adults will have 3 months to find a job before losing their benefits. They will have to attend job training, volunteer, or work an average of 20 hours each week. Now, the work requirements waived since 2002 were reinstated due to increased employment rates. 29 states now require participants to have a job.
I'm afraid there is no money available.
Could you handle not having your mother not in your life and then your father leaving you? Could you imagine what your life could be like? Could you imagine how hard it is for you to avoid the streets? Can you imagine how hard it is to grow up not knowing what's right and what's wrong? Can you imagine what it's like walking across the stage and your parents is not there? Can you imagine that? Can you just imagine not being wanted, period? And you're just stranded all by yourself. And you're trying to figure out life, but you gotta learn the hard way.
60-year-old Rebecca Anderson caught on camera physically abusing a 6-month-old baby. Taylor Oliver believes her son Tristan was tied up, starved, and possibly drugged at this home-based daycare in Texas. The father, who attached that camera to his infant son's car seat, went straight to the police after he saw Anderson pick up his infant son by his bib and dose him with liquid Tylenol. Authorities rushed to Anderson's home, where they found 9 children, 4 still in their car seats, left in dark closets with shoelace strings tied around their necks to restrict their movements. Tristan's grandmother, Kiona, noticed suspicious marks on her grandson, but never suspected Anderson.
He had 2 abrasions on the collarbone. I was like, is somebody choking him? Like a kid. It never crossed my mind it would have been her doing anything. He would come back hungry. He was hungry to the point where he would cry all the way home. I'm coming to thinking that maybe she wasn't feeding my baby because he was in the closet for 7 hours.
Earth become my mother, so I say from the earth which is my mother, because I become a man. So it's just, the earth is my mother, and this last year the ice and the greatest is my father. So it's just the earth I eat from. You don't have to make nothing and give I will eat everything from the earth, because I know it come pure. It's only now them start to corrupt it with them Monsanto and them fertilizer and them Roundup and all them kind of chemical and poison them I put on the food. So even that within this time, I will change my liberty from running to the market and getting stuff. I'd rather to eat the mango leaf, guava leaf, the cherry, the wild food. I mostly feed upon wild food right now. I try to avoid the shop and the buying and the selling food. Because now we have a terrible drought to just be a fertilizer and poison. These are the time where you're going to eat poison.
Talk about the protein powders real quickly, in particular whey. All right, now I know it's gonna hurt some of y'all feelings, but I'm just telling y'all the facts. All right, now whey for many years was a byproduct until some top flight swindlers learned how to come around and jack more money out your pockets. All right, now whey is super highly processed and it's chemically processed. All right. Whey can lead to acne outbreak, okay? Whey can damage your gut flora, okay? Whey can lead to hormone imbalance, all right? Now, I was buying even this quote-unquote organic one until I started seeing shit shimmer in it, all right? So I never bought it again. It's another problem. They can be full of heavy metals, all right? You don't need any of this shit, all right? All you need is some banana in your blender, a couple dates, some nut milk, some nut butter of choice, raw nut butter, some hemp seeds, maybe 2 to 3 spoonfuls of hemp seeds, maybe a little chia seed. Hemp seed and nut butter is all you need. Blend it up, you got over 20 grams of protein right there alone. Bioavailable. Love you.
Do you know what's in your drinking water? A shocking Associated Press investigation found various pharmaceuticals in the drinking supplies of at least 41 million Americans. Tainted water was found from New Jersey to California. NBC's Tom Costello is following the story from Washington. First of all, what kinds of drugs are we talking about, and how dangerous is this?
Pretty wide range. Here's the drinking water in Washington, D.C. They found 6 pharmaceuticals in our drinking water here. They include ibuprofen, caffeine, monosin, and about 3 or 4 others. In Philadelphia, they had 56 pharmaceuticals or byproducts. They range everything from epilepsy medication to mental health medicines to pharmaceuticals that really run the gamut. Here's the bottom line from the Associated Press on the study they did. It was a 5-month investigation. 50 major cities in 50 states were looked at. Drugs were found in the water of 24 major cities. So what's in the water? Everything from acetaminophen and ibuprofen to mood stabilizers, antibiotics, heart, cholesterol drugs, and even sex hormones.
But the most important thing, and this is what my book is about, is detoxing your body. The body is like an onion, and you build up of layers of garbage over a lifetime, and these layers lead you to what you're choosing to eat. And I've met raw foodists, and one of my dearest friends is a raw foodist for 6 years, and he looks like hell because he hasn't broken down the years of what he did before. So it isn't, I think raw foods, yes, that's the final result, but it's very difficult to just become a raw foodist. But as you detox and cleanse your body, these things start to change. And all of this can be turned around because the body regenerates itself totally every 7 years. You get new cells every 7 years. You get new tissue every 3 months. So if you detox the body and go to what's comfortable, as you break down the layers, the body kind of leads you to where it's supposed to go. So I didn't decide to be a raw foodist. I think that's what I need to say here. My body led me there.
I grew up around Native American people, primarily the Cheyenne and the Crow. I remember coming home one day and we were going to go into one of the kids' teepees with his parents, and the mother said, "Take those shoes off, they'll make you sick." It was just strange why she would say they would make you sick. Well, I wouldn't have had a clue at that time.
In simple terms, drowning is literally putting your bare feet on the ground. When you do that, you're in contact with the Earth, and Mother Earth is endowed with electrons. And these electrons are literally absorbed through your feet. It's like taking handfuls of antioxidants, but you're getting it through the feet.
Grounding means connecting to the Earth to
الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون.
Around for the camera when suddenly a mysterious dark figure walks by the window. As the person holding the camera rushes to investigate, the two open the door and head into what appears to be an operating theatre. Suddenly, a table begins to move for no apparent reason. The startled pair quickly leave the room, and as they do, the camera holder does a full 360-degree sweep of the room. There's no one else in the room and no other door that the mysterious figure could have entered or exited from. What was this shadowy figure? Could it have been the ghost of someone that passed away in this very operating room?
My first time,
I was nervous.
My first time
was in the back of a firehouse.
It was amazing.
I mean, I didn't know how to do it. Where to put it, where to slide it in.
My first time.
I am a feminist, communist, otherkin, non-binary, asexual YouTuber.
Stop it. Get some help.
I am non-binary, and that means I identify as something other than male or female.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
76 genders, even though there are probably more like millions of gender.
Wow! The land of make-believe!
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Reason Islam here. Black people. Black people. Black people. Okay, let's understand something. You ever notice how when white people, Jewish people, or Mexican people do something in public that's crazy as heck, you never see a white, Jewish, or Mexican person come out cheering all this stuff when it's all over the media, cheering when their brother or sister is getting punished, or cheering it on, like, oh yeah, look, he crazy, oh, look what he did. But when the news or media comes out and says something about one of our black celebrities, one of our black brothers and sisters, just any one of us, we are so quick to jump on the bandwagon like, yeah, that nigga crazy, oh, he's stupid, oh, he's a pedophile, oh, he's this. Whatever they are lying about or exaggerating, or it may be true, but whatever they're saying, we are the first people to jump on it. You know, back then when they were hanging us and when they were burning us on the ground, there were white people standing around cheering it on, but us as black people look like those white people today when we cheer on the castration or the hanging or the crucifixion of our own black celebrities, our own brothers and sisters. We have to stop jumping on everything that is said about us as a people that is in the negative. We do not know what it's like to be a black celebrity or a black brother or sister, right? Because we are too busy trying to be like everybody else.
What's good?
Nothing.
Oh. So tell me, did it hurt?
When they captured me. When they beat me.
No, when you fell from heaven, girl.
Life is big.
I am sorry, but I am bleeding out, so I'm going to say this quickly. Can I get you a drink?
Oh, yes. I haven't had water in days.
Great, open wide. Let me spit in your mouth.
Oh, no.
Mommy, you can spit in my mouth. Sultan.
No.
You have good aim.
No, Nia.
Come on.
It was one time I was new to the ship.
You always say that. Come holler at me when you're thirsty. I'll fill you up.
I'm not going to be thirsty. No, stop it. I don't want it, Nia. So, back to you. What is your name?
Nakuru.
Nakuru? That is such a beautiful name. Nakuru. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to offend you if this is your work.
Jomo Kenyatta said when the European first came to Africa, the Africans had the land and the white man had the Bible. White man told him close his eyes, get on his knees and pray. Jomo said when the black man opened his eyes, the white man had the land and the black man had the Bible. We have bought into a story that we told them. They have twisted it. They got it twisted. We have now bought that story back.
What we call the African and the communities that person lived in is where the concept of religion comes from. Europe never produced a religion, ever. Asia receives its religion from Africa. All of them. Buddhism, Hinduism, Shinto. As a matter of fact, to be more scholarly, starts with Hinduism. The first
comes to ethnic names, a lot of us allow others to shorten them, or we create the simplified version because they feel uncomfortable. They're experiencing a level of angst, and it's simply that they don't want to take the time and the effort to learn your beautiful name. And so you will hear, well, you know, I'm just really bad at names. Is there something else I can call you? No, Miss Lady, this is my name. You could tap it out for them syllable by syllable, or you can write it for them phonetically. But it is a basic sign of respect. The same way they can respect all of these complicated European names like Ashkenaz, all of that, they can learn how to pronounce your name as well. And oftentimes in my community, I hear people say, well, you know, I want to give my child a safe name. I'm going to give my child a resume name so they can avoid discrimination. Or, you know, that name is so ghetto. A lot of our names have powerful spiritual and cultural meaning and significance. And at some point, we have to stop trying to blend in and assimilate so much and create our own paradigms of what is acceptable.
I don't care if I'm in South Africa, Nigeria. I don't care if I'm in Holland, Austria, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, Canada, LA, Houston. On the planet, there's 4 constants for African people. Number 1, we're worshiping a white Jesus. I don't care where you go. Black people in love with a white Christ. That's number 1. Number 2, you have mass incarceration of black males at a rate 4 or 5 times their percentage of the population in that particular state. Number 3, you have miseducation of black children. You have the over-identification of black children in classifications of mental retardation, ADHD, learning disabled. You have record numbers of single black mothers raising our children on their own, okay? And then on top of that, you also have a black economy, which is totally dominated by people who do not look like us. I don't care where you go on the planet, black people are not in control of their economy. Your rice, your bread, your milk, your sneakers, your...
It's Justin Blue, 60 seconds ain't enough, but let's get into it. So recently, pictures were released of George Zimmerman wearing a Confederate flag shirt while signing bags of Skittles. Now, for anybody that may not know, him signing bags of Skittles is pure evil because Trayvon Martin was carrying a bag of Skittles when he got murdered. And not only did Zimmerman get away with murdering an innocent child, but on top of signing Skittles, he also auctioned off the gun that he killed Trayvon with.
But I understand that you said this in one of your US interviews. I've got no trouble with killing brutal cops. True?
They have no trouble with killing what they consider brutal kids. See, my attitude is that just because you have a badge doesn't give you the right to murder me. Once a cop pulls me out of the car and handles me under the law, that's cool. But once he starts beating on me and taking advantage of me, no longer is he in the lines of law. He is now becoming some inhuman person, and he's determined. Now it's just 2 men out in the street. And one of us got to die, and it's not going to be me, you know? It's either you or me. That's what the record says.
Now, in the midst of all of this, my biggest thing is, y'all got all this talk about being a shooter, all this talk about being the realist, all this talk about being a killer, being a gangster, etc., but this man's still walking around. How? Now, to be clear, I'm not telling anybody to go out and kill anybody, but if that's the lifestyle you claiming, then you really need to evaluate how you moving. Because a lot of y'all are being used solely to destroy your own people and don't even realize it. Like, check this out. Nearly every major progressive black leader has been assassinated. At the peak of the Black Panther Party, they had about 2,000 members. They were doing great things for the community, and the government dismantled them. Now today, both the Crips and Bloods alone have over 30,000 members each. Now tell me this, why would they shut down the Black Panthers but let black gangs flourish? You do the math. If you consider yourself a gangster, a thug, or a shooter, you really need to think about what direction you always shooting in.
Just for you.